become overwhelmed with drug-fueled crime under woke District Attorney Larry Krasner, a self-described progressive prosecutor. His failure to clamp down on crimes and handling of the city's drug crisis led to his impeachment in 2022 for dereliction of duty. However, he remains in office after his impeachment trial was indefinitely postponed. But the effects of his tenure has seen Trank take over the streets of Philadelphia, with new footage showing a mass of addicts hunched over in a stupor or passed out on the sidewalk. "I've never seen human beings remain in these kinds of conditions," said Sarah Laurel, who runs outreach organization Savage Sisters, earlier this year. "They have open, gaping wounds. They can't walk, and they tell me, if I go to the hospital, I'm going to get sick. They're so terrified of the detox." Earlier this year, disturbing photographs obtained by DailyMail.com laid bare the scale of the city's tragic drug problem. Amid a flood of the popular and dangerous drug, the sidewalks are more reminiscent of a scene from The Walking Dead than a bustling metro. Trank can be consumed in a number of ways as it is mixed with other substances to enhance its high, which has a similar effect to other opioid drugs. Users are seen smoking, snorting, injecting, swallowing and inhaling the drug, with some even seen injecting it between the toes and their feet. The effects of the drug appear very similar to that of an overdose, as victims suffer from an uncontrolled stupor of sedation, slowed breathing, and unconsciousness. Xylazine also often causes raw, gaping wounds on its victims, many of whom are found suffering from gruesome injuries while they lay among garbage and syringes. Startling figures also found that Trank had been found in more than 90% of fentanyl samples in Philadelphia, and emergency rooms have reportedly seen skin and soft tissue injuries increase fourfold in the last 3 years. Users roam the streets in a trance-like state while on the drug, unaware of their movements and sprawled out on the filthy sidewalks. It has taken center stage on the drug market as a powerful cutting agent. And the zombie-like drug is one of the most addictive substances on the black market. Deaths caused by fentanyl in the U.S. surged in the 2010s. At the start of the decade, 2,666 Americans died of a fentanyl overdose. This figure shot up to 19,413 by 2016. COVID made the situation worse, with a record 72,484 deaths recorded in 2021.
A journey of redemption, breaking free from the grip of fentanyl. Introduction. In a perfect world, the words "drugs are illegal" would imply limited accessibility and scarcity. However, the reality we live in is far from perfect. I can still reminisce about the days when life was simple, and I found happiness in the simplest of things before I became entangled in addiction. Now, as a clean and sober individual, returning to Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia poses its own set of challenges. Walking down the familiar streets, I am confronted with the harrowing reminder of the hell I once lived in. The corner where I used to sleep brings back memories of that initial night of fear when I had lost everything. As I pass by, I witness a man preparing to inject himself with the lethal poison known as fentanyl, a substance I know all too well. The scorching sensation that surged through my body upon contact with fentanyl momentarily whisked away all my troubles. It didn't matter that I was living on the streets. All I needed was fentanyl to forget and believe that everything would somehow be fine. The truth was, all I needed was fentanyl, and that dependency consumed me. The struggle. Returning to Kensington Avenue as a clean individual has shed light on the grim reality surrounding drug addiction. Publicly, I witnessed drug abuse in plain sight. Unfazed by the law, a man nonchalantly indulges in drug use, openly injecting himself without any concern for consequences. Law enforcement officers pass by, seemingly indifferent to the plight of addicts. It appears easier for them to let addicts self-medicate, as the repercussions of withdrawal, witnessed during a brief stay in custody, are unbearable. Within hours, without access to drugs, the grips of withdrawal take hold, causing violent sickness and loss of control. I recall vividly the days when fentanyl ravaged my weakened body, rendering me powerless. Now, in my newfound clarity, I realize the arduous journey I embarked upon to break free from the clutches of fentanyl. The descent. Every block I traverse in Kensington serves as a stark reminder of the pervasive drug culture. Drug spots seem to be omnipresent, each corner harboring its own supply. Walking through Kensington, I bear witness